It is the wee hours of Thursday morning. And accordingly, it is time for an old man yapping. So, last week, Collective Shout, a bunch of cunts in Australia, got their knickers all in a twist about certain video games they didn't like. And they told the platforms and publishers, hey, you stop selling these video games we don't like. And the platforms and publishers looked at them and said, well, you're not the boss of us. So Collective Shout looked at each other and said, we need to abuse our power to get what we want. Except they didn't have any. So they had a problem. And they said, I know. What if we harassed somebody who did have power? What if we went to the payment processors, Visa and MasterCard, PayPal and Stripe, who process payments for these platforms and publishers? What if we went to them and said, hey, we're going to harass and annoy you until you abuse your power on our behalf to get us what we want from those platforms and publishers? And the payment processors went, well, shit, we don't want to be harassed, and we don't fucking care. So yeah, sure. Hey, all you publishers and platforms, get rid of those games. Stop it. Just stop doing the thing, or we'll fuck up your business. And the publishers and platforms said, well, we can't have our business fucked up. So the cunts in Australia got what they wanted. Meanwhile, in other news, a bunch of cunts in the EU have decided they don't like certain video games, and they would like platforms and publishers to stop making those games. But the platforms and publishers said, you're not the boss of us. And they went, well, fuck, we're going to abuse our power that we don't have. Oh, shit. Hey, let's make a petition. Let's make a petition and send it to the European Union and tell them, hey, abuse your power on our behalf to make the platforms and publishers stop selling these games we don't like. It's the same fascist horse shit in both cases. It's the exact same thing. It is indeed cancel culture. It's what people mean when they say cancel culture. And what cancel culture actually means isn't the ability to actually be canceled. It's a group of people who don't have power harassing someone who does have power until that someone abuses their power on behalf of the people harassing them. It's a form of coercion. You want somebody punished. You think somebody's a racist jackass. So you want them punished, but you don't have any ability to punish them. So you call their employer, and you complain, and you clog the switchboard. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort to bring a business to a grinding halt because you're a dick, and you want the racist punished. The only way for the employer to make this stop is to fire the guy who was a racist. He doesn't care. He's probably going to do it. That's the issue. It's people who care about something but don't have power conspiring and collaborating with someone who does have power and doesn't care. This is corruption. This is a corrupt deal. It's anti-consumer, it's antitrust, and you shouldn't support it. You shouldn't be behind any movement that wants to work this way. Whenever you have a group of people that care about something and have no power, that form a bond with somebody who has power but doesn't care. First of all, somebody who has power and doesn't care, that's a big fucking red flag right there. They're supposed to care, okay? They're supposed to care about the principle of the thing. Just like the payment processors were supposed to look at these cunts in Australia and go, no, we're not going to make judgments about what products you can and can't sell. We are a machine. You put the card in on one end, and we put the money in on the other end, and that's how the exchange happens. We don't fucking care who has the card and who gets the money. It just doesn't matter. That's what they should have done. But they didn't. Instead, they went to Steam and itch.io and they said, hey, take these games down or we're going to fuck up your business. And this is a problem because Steam and itch.io are the big boys. They're the ones that have the most power, the most ability to draw themselves up and look at the payment processors and say, fuck you. But they didn't. That's how this works. That's how this cascade happens. That's how this kind of fascist horseshit cascades down into all of the vendors and all of the platforms and all of the publishers, no matter how small. Even individual websites can have their payment processing terminated if they get a complaint. If the payment processor gets a complaint about this one website selling this one game, it could just be an artist on Twitter. It could just be an artist on Twitter that says, hey, I do commissions for $50. And if you DM them and say, will you do an NSFW commission? And they say, yeah, sure. You could send that DM to PayPal. And you could say, this guy is selling NSFW commissions on Twitter. That's against your policies. Terminate his PayPal account. That's a fucking problem. You don't want this kind of shit. And PayPal and Stripe and Visa and MasterCard are supposed to stand up and say, fuck you. We don't give a shit. We don't care what they're selling. We don't care why they're selling it. It's none of our concern. All we do is act as a pipeline for the money. That's it. If you want something done about this, go to the legislature and get a law made. We have to monitor for money laundering. We have to monitor for stolen funds. We have to do that because it's the law. But this shit you're talking about, you're just a bunch of meddling cunts. Cut it the fuck out. Stop it. It's morally wrong to even ask. And the Stop Killing Games movement is morally wrong because they're asking. They're going to the European Union and saying, hey, abuse your power in a corrupt fashion to make the thing we want happen because we don't have the power. There's a reason you don't have the power, because you would abuse it. Stop asking other people to abuse it. Fuck off. And that leads me to another thing. Ace Rolla did a video, hour-long video. I did not skip around in it. I did not watch it at double speed or anything like that. I watched the whole thing in real time. And I have one question. What the entire almighty fuck is wrong with you people? Because let's sum up Ace Rolla's video. The investors who bankroll the gaming industry don't care about games. All they care about is money. Well, that's bad. That's very bad. You're not supposed to have investors that don't care about what they're investing in. That's bad. Why are the publishers taking it? Why are the publishers taking the money? Well, it turns out the publishers also don't care about games. They only care about money. Well, that's bad. That's bad. It's like the iron triangle of what you're supposed to do in business is, first of all, you must care very, very deeply about the quality of the products that you manufacture. And you must have great respect for the people who make that product. And you must cultivate a deep understanding of the customer who buys the product and why they buy it. And if you don't do those things, your business is going to fail. It's bullshit. You're not, you have to care about your product. You have to respect the people who make it. You have to understand the people who buy it. If you don't do those three things, you have no business running this company. Why do the shareholders put up with this? Why do the shareholders accept this horse shit? Why do they accept people in business that only care about money, that only look at the numbers, and don't care about the product or the business? It's because of the rise of the retail investor and the market fund. It's because the shareholders, the big VC investors, those people are scum, but the retail investors, well, they're just stupid. They don't understand what the company they're investing in does. They don't quite comprehend that when you buy stock, you're buying a piece of a company that does business. And it's supposed to be a real business that produces real products that real people really buy. It buggers the imagination. It really does. Which begs the question, why do developers work at these companies? Why would a game developer work for a game company that doesn't care about games? Whose investors don't care about games? Why? Why would you do that? Why would you work for that company? Oh, it's because the developers don't care about games. They only care about money. I believe I am seeing a pattern here. Which begs the question, again, why do you play these games? Nobody involved in the manufacture and production and development and publication and sale of these games, nobody anywhere in this chain cares about games. They don't give a shit. All they care about, from the top to the bottom, all they care about is money. They don't care about gamings. Why do you play these? The thing that really got me about Acerola's video is he started naming off games, and he was like, well, there are all of these games, and this game's terrible, and that game's terrible, and this game's terrible, and that game's... And he's naming off all of these games, and I'm looking at them, I'm going, I don't play these games. I don't play any of these games. And do you know why I don't play these games? Because I look at the games, and I go... Well, that sounds like some fresh circle of hell I've never heard of. The design of this game sounds predatory. I don't even have to install the game and look at it. Just the screenshots look predatory. These levels aren't designed by somebody who understands how to design game levels. These game systems aren't designed by somebody who understands game systems. There's a big hole right here in the game systems. And I don't see any easy way to fix it. You can't patch that out. You'd have to change everything. Your players are going to lose their fucking mind when you try to do that. You cannot give something to your players and then take it away. And there was one game, I've heard a lot about this game, and Acerola was talking about it, and he was saying, you know, this game is predatory as fuck. But I play it because I need my cute anime girl fix every day. And he is talking, of course, about Uma Musume, Pretty Derby. And I have Uma Musume. I had downloaded it, but I had not played it. So I put a couple hours into it, and I must say, Vodka is adorable. I absolutely love her. She's fantastic. She leans directly into two things that I am an absolute simp for. She's got hair covering one eye and a shock of contrasting colored hair in the middle of it. That just does it for me. I immediately just, I have a bond with this character that just, I'm emotionally attached now. I care what happens to this person who's not real and doesn't exist. They're fake. This isn't a real person, but it feels like a real person, and I treat them like a real person because I wish that was a real person. I have some experience with wishing fake, not real people that don't exist were a real person. I have a lot of experience with that. But I put 2 hours into this game, and I trained a couple of trainees, and I went through the tutorial, and I took a couple of trainees through races, and are you sure you don't just want to watch anime? Because this is a lot like watching anime. Acerola admitted to spending $420 to get one premium pull through the pity system. That would be 4 years subscription to Crunchyroll. And you could watch all the anime you wanted. And if you wanted to see Rias Gremory from High School DxD, you could just watch High School DxD. If you like Albedo from Overlord, you could watch Overlord. If, like me, you have an unnatural affection for Roroa Amadonia in How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom, you can watch that. In fact, you can skip every episode that doesn't have her in it, so you're only watching those episodes. She really doesn't get enough screen time. But yeah, if you want to watch anime, you can get Crunchyroll for $8 a month. That's not terribly expensive. It wouldn't be $400. Like that's probably, really, you shouldn't. Like, why would you do, why? It doesn't make any sense to me. And the game is, it's really very well done. It's predatory, there's no question about it. But the predatory aspect of it is very low key. It's not waved in your face. It's not like Fortnite. Fortnite really kind of puts things in your face. Fortnite is the game that, like, I fired it up and I looked at it and I went, oh yeah, Tim Sweetney is the devil. I forgot that. And then I uninstalled it. And I never installed it again. And I'm not going to. Because Fortnite put a collection of items in front of me and said, here are the items you can buy right now. You may never see them again. This may be the only time you see these items. They may be available for a limited time, and you may, purely through luck of the draw, not see that item again before it's no longer available. You have to buy anything you want off of this screen now, or you might never get it. There's a disease that certain people have. And I don't mean the people who spend money on those screens. I mean the people who put those screens into things. There is a disease people have where they think literally all of your attention should always be on their stuff. And literally all of your money should be immediately given to them. And every single social interaction you have should focus around telling that other person to go pay attention to their stuff and give them money. It is the most rank and rotten, self-absorbed horseshit I have ever seen. Tim Sweetney has that. He thinks he should be the center of your universe. He thinks Epic Games should be the center of the universe. He thinks everything they make you should orbit that. You should wake up in the morning and immediately look at the Epic Games store and buy everything you can afford to buy immediately, and then play nothing but Epic Games all day long, spending every single dime that you have on the games at every opportunity. And at the end of the day, you should stay up late and not sleep so fucking much so you could spend more time playing the games and giving him money. And you should get up earlier tomorrow so you could start playing the games earlier and giving him money. And if anybody talks to you, you should tell them to play Epic Games and to give Epic Games money. That disease hurts you. It doesn't hurt the person who has it. It hurts you, the person outside of them, because that person doesn't care about your health. They don't care about your career. They don't care about your family. Your health, your career, and your family, all of those things are superfluous. You need to give all of your time and money and attention to them and their stuff. That's your purpose in life. You should give all of your money to them, and when you don't have any more money, when you're out of money and you can't get any more, you should just die, because you have no purpose anymore. You have no further use to them. We've got a lot of these people in our government in the United States. Hell, we've got a lot of people in that government in the UK. We're starting to get them everywhere. Don't do business with these people. Whenever somebody wants all of your attention, don't give them any of it. If they want all of your money, don't give them any of it. If they want you telling your friends about their stuff, don't talk about it ever. And don't work for them. Why do developers work for these companies? Look, I quit playing Uma Musume, and I'm probably never going to play it again. I'm probably going to uninstall it. I mean, I'm admitting the possibility. I really do like vodka. I really do feel an attachment there. I really do feel like I should go back to my trainee and keep working on her career and keep putting her through races. I really feel a certain obligation there. You're supposed to. That's what the game's trying to do. That's how it gets you. And it's really insidious. but it's also a kinder, gentler way to go about things. They're leveraging your empathy and your compassion and your emotional connection. They're using that to control you and to manipulate you. But there's something subtly different about it in the East. And that's the thing that really kind of gets me about these games is why are you playing games that have a battle pass? Why are you playing these games? They're designed to take your money. They're not designed to be fun. They're not designed to offer you anything meaningful or useful. They're designed to take your money as quickly and efficiently as possible so you won't have any. Why are you playing them? You know they do this. You know this is how they work. You know this is their business model. You know this is their stated goal. They say it out loud to their investors. The game is designed to take the players' money as quickly and efficiently as possible so we can have it. Why would you ever play any game from somebody who said that? I was watching a video the other day. Sam Altman was standing in front of a group of investors and he was saying, we need billions of dollars of your money so that we can build artificial generalized intelligence, and then we're going to ask it how to get you your money back. You people are crazy. Why? Why are you doing business with these people? It's honestly hard to make me angry, but I'm angry about this because I look around and everybody's a fucking moron. Everybody's a complete fucking moron, and I really hate that we're not allowed to use the R word anymore because it's so fucking appropriate. These people are saying the quiet part out loud. They want you to spend the rent money buying bullshit in their game so you have nowhere to live anymore. And then you can die like a dog in the street because they don't care. They've got your money. Fuck you. Why are you doing business with these people? Why are you buying their games? Why are you playing their games? What? Look, I have a lot of clickers and a lot of idlers and a lot of free-to-play stuff. And most of it has in-app purchases. One that I've been playing for the last couple of days is called Grim Clicker. I got 2,000 hours in this game. I've been playing it for 5 years. I put it away for a while, and then lately there was an update to it. And with the update, I went, oh, let's go have a look at it again. And I went and had a look at it again. And I had forgotten how much fun it was. But it's such a spectator thing. I just kind of sit there and stare at it. And it's cool. It's interesting. I mean, it's like your little guy swings his sword and kills the monster, and you get to watch the health bar go down, and you get to watch the monster go poof. And then the gems and rubies, you go whee, and there's a little particle effect, and there are all the little labels, how much damage you did and how much experience you got. There's all this stuff flying all over the screen, and there's flying creatures that come in. There's stuff going on the screen. You're sitting there like, wow, look at all this stuff, man. This is really cool. It's tailor-made for somebody who smokes fucking weed, but I don't smoke weed. I just sit there and I look at it and I go, that's really cool. Yeah, check that out. Ooh, I got more experience for that guy. Oh, that guy has more health than the other guys. Didn't get more experience for him, though. That's bullshit. And I just sit there and I stare at it and I watch it happen. And every once in a while, it goes, hey, you made a level. And I go, ooh, let me go spend my points. And I go and I spend my points. And I go, I'll get that skill. I'll get that skill. I'll spend the points on that. And that'll do this and that'll do this. Let me look at my number. Ooh, the number go up. Ooh, look at the other number go up. Ooh, this number go up and that number go up. Ooh, look, I'm going through the enemy. The health bar is going down faster. It's not very productive, is it? But it's interesting, it's engaging, and I go in there and I do this thing, and it has in-app purchases. It has a premium currency. And I've spent a fair amount of that premium currency. In fact, if you add up all of the premium currency that I've spent on stuff in the store, because there's a record of how much stuff you bought, if you add up all of the stuff that I bought in the store, and you add the amount of premium currency I still have in my pocket, and you consider that there's inventory items that you can buy with shards, and then you can disassemble them to get crafting materials. If you count that, you know, there's another few hundred there, and I have easily spent more than 4,500 shards. That's the largest pack of shards that you can buy in the store. And it's $100. I've spent $100 worth of shards. I have never given them a dime. I have collected those shards through gameplay. And it took 2,000 hours, so you do the arithmetic on that, and you just carry the one and all that. It takes about 20 hours to earn $1 worth of shards. That's a predatory system. That's designed to make you go, fuck this, it takes too long, I'm just gonna buy some. And it's your job as the player to go, nope, not gonna do it. Not gonna spend money on this. Free to play means free to play. There are 3 little buttons in your head. We're machines made of meat. If you push the buttons in the right order, the monkey will dance. And there are 3 particular buttons that games like this want to push. And one of them is the button that says, this is something you should spend money on. The faster it can push that button, the more money you are likely to spend, because the second button is, it's time to spend more money. It's time to spend money now. You should spend more money. There's more money to be spent. You should spend money. Money needs to go into the game now. And the job of the game is to press the first button as fast as it can. And then to press the second one as much as it can, as often as it can. You press it, just press. And make sure it presses that button without making you press the third button. And the third button is, fuck this, I don't spend money on this anymore. It is to your advantage to take any game like this and immediately push the third button in your head and go, I do not spend money on this. Fuck it. I'm never spending money on this. If you do that from the very beginning, predatory games just suck. Because you've pressed the button that says, I don't spend money on this, I never spend money on this, under no circumstances will I spend a dime on this game in the future. Once you do that, predatory games that exist solely to make you spend money are shit. They're such absolute fucking garbage. You won't want to play them. They're terrible. And we know they're terrible. We know these games are terrible, but the game is constantly going, oh, if you spent some money, it would be cool. And that's where cosmetic only shit comes in. It's that this is the dumbest goddamn thing ever, okay? Because when you tell me in-game purchases are cosmetic only, what I hear is in-game purchases are completely fucking worthless. I'm not going to give you real money for a fake hat that I can pretend to wear in the game. It's not real. It doesn't exist. I'm not going to pay money for that. Who would? What the fuck? Can I have a bonus to weapon damage? I'll pay for that. Can I have a reduction in cooldown rates? I'll pay for that. Can I get bonus drops? I'll pay money for actual useful shit that will help me achieve my goals while playing the game. But cosmetics? Buy this cool jacket? It's not real. It's data. It's a texture. It's not even a new texture. It's a model that you already had. An artist painted that in an hour, and you want $10 for it? No. Absolutely fucking not. What is wrong with you? What even are you people do? Why do you buy this shit? Why do you spend this money? Why do you play these games? They're awful. These games are coming from companies that hate you and want you to die. Their investors hate you and want you to die. The developers hate you and want you to die. None of them care about the product they're making. None of them care about you or your experience. None of them care about any of it. They don't even care about the game as art. All they care about is how much money they can extract from you and how fast. That's all they care about. If that was a person, I would not talk to them. I would block them on Facebook. Why are you playing their games? Why are you hanging out at their establishments where they've already told you their sole purpose in life is to take all of your money as fast as they can and then kick you out? Why are you there? Why are you even... When Tim Sweetney says we're releasing a new game, why do you even look at what it is? He's the devil. Tell him to fuck off. Don't listen to him. I mean, for God's sake, what is wrong with you? I have... Let me check something real quick. I'm gonna have a look in Steam right now. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna say, okay, how many clicker games do I have? 170. I have 170 clicker games. And looking down here, I will be able to determine, because it's fairly uncommon, I will be able to count how many of these I've actually spent money in. There's one. I spent like $120 in that one. There was a time in my life when I wanted to spend. Oh, there's another one. There's oh my God. Family Guy: The Quest for Cards. They had a subscription when they first came out. It was $15 a month. And I was subscribed to that for 2.5 years before I realized what that $15 a month was for. I had stopped playing the game, and this is... Look, if you're at all familiar with the online porn industry, you know the cash money is in getting people to subscribe to your service and forget they have paid for it. So you can just collect money every month forever and not have to deliver on anything. So I spent $450 on the Family Guy card collector game. And it's one thing. Acerola spent $420 to get a card. I spent $450 for nothing. I wasn't even playing the game. I didn't want anything. And the fun part about that subscription is it said right on the subscription, if you don't collect your rewards by the end of the month, you won't get them. So I didn't even collect 2.5 years of shit on the game. It's just, I had to go in every month and collect what I was paying for, or it would disappear. So I understand when Stop Killing Games says, oh my God, there are horrible predatory things going on in the games industry. I know, I really do. I know there are. I've fallen for these things. I've done this stuff. It's not a nice thing when games do this. But it's my fault that I let them. Do you understand that? Like, I've been playing GTA Online since, I mean, for God's sake, I was playing it back in GTA 4. I've been on the Rockstar Social Club since literally the day it launched. And one of these days, GTA Online could shut down and take with it a decade of progress and grind and collection and all of these fake vehicles that aren't real and don't exist. Just a couple of months ago, I bought an Apache helicopter. I forget what they call it in game. I have a garage full of sports cars. I got my Oppressor Mark II. I've got a hangar full of aircraft. I have every business you can buy in the game. And they could shut that off tomorrow. And if they did, it would suck. And do you know what I would do if they shut it down? Aw, man. And then I would move the fuck on. Because I understand that these things are not real and they don't exist and they're fake. I don't feel attached to them. It sure would be nice if I got to continue playing GTA Online for the next 10 years. That would be nice. I would enjoy that. It would be nice if I got to continue playing Grim Clicker for the next 5 years. That would be nice. I would enjoy that. But if the server goes down and I can't play the game anymore, which doesn't really happen with GTA 5, I still have, like, the single-player experience. Not to mention, even the online experience, I'm fairly certain that the online experience on GTA is fully installed on the local computer, just because of how their networking works. It's peer-to-peer, fundamentally, although they are starting to have more of an authoritative authentication server that's like verifying stuff. They've been trying so hard to manage and moderate the gameplay on that system, and they've been doing a really good job. I understand the technical hurdles they're dealing with, and they're doing a good job. I'm very pleased with the work that they've done. I'm very pleased that they keep revisiting it. I'm absolutely convinced they're testing gameplay systems and ideas for GTA 6 in GTA Online. And I think it'll make GTA 6 better. I really do. And I think that's incredibly cool. I think it's fantastic. And I'm happy to be a part of it. But do you know how much money I have spent on GTA 5 over the entire life of the game? $68. Because I pre-ordered GTA 5 at full price. But I pre-ordered it on the Xbox 360. So now I have it on PC. And when I got it on PC, I bought it for like $7 and change plus tax on Steam. It was on sale. It's usually $15. It was 50% off. It was $7.50. Came with the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack. I've never bought a shark card. I've never paid a single fucking dollar for in-game money in GTA. I've bought the core game, and that's it. Everything they would be destroying, everything that disappeared when they took the server offline, would be in-game grind. None of it would be cash money. Not a damn thing. So, I don't feel entitled to it. I don't feel attached to it. I did the work to get it. I didn't spend money to get it. I think it's good that you can spend money to get it. I think that, I think if you started playing GTA Online today, it would serve you well to invest a little bit in some shark cards. If you want to play GTA Online at the competent level that somebody like me is playing at, not that I'm great at the game, but just to like have the stuff that I have, I have about $350 million worth of shit. And I have a wish list. I have things I still want to buy, and there's like 200 million worth of shit on there. So if you want to play GTA Online at the level I'm playing it, with the kind of options that I have, with the kind of abilities that I have, you're going to need $500 million of in-game currency. That's like $5,000 if you buy shark cards. I do not recommend that. I recommend you play the fucking game and fucking grind it out the same way I did. I also think the great majority of what I purchased, you don't need and shouldn't buy. I've got a lot of stuff. I don't really race in GTA Online anymore. I used to. I used to do the race events a lot. But I have a dedicated garage with the best race vehicle for every single class of race. Every vehicle class there is, I have the best available option for racing. And they've all got consistent paint jobs that don't match anything else I own. They're all in candy apple red. So whenever I go to a race, I just have to stroll through the available vehicles until I see the candy apple red car. That's the best available car of that class. I pick that, I use that in the race, I win the race. I'm fairly sure that garage full of cars cost about $150 million. you should probably not do that, especially if you don't race, which I don't. I used to, but I had quit before I started putting together that collection of cars. Why did I do that? People are stupid and make bad decisions. I understand that people are stupid and make bad decisions. But over and over again, why are so many of you playing these games that suck and are predatory and come from people who don't care about games to make money for other people who don't care about games? And were made by people who don't care about games. Why do you give them your money? What's wrong with you? I have never played Destiny or Destiny 2. I don't need to. The game is clearly predatory. It is clearly designed as a pipeline to take your money over and over again by leveraging human psychology and the fear of missing out. That's evil. These people are evil. They're trying to ruin your life. And if you keep playing their games, well, that's crazy. People say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Why do you play predatory games from AAA studios? You know what they do. Why do you keep doing this? I play a buttload of free-to-play indie games. Oh, I was counting how many games I've actually spent money in. Wow. I think that's it. Oh no, Tap Infinity. I bought some stuff in that. I don't remember how much I spent on that. I think it was like $20. So $20 there, $120 in Crush, and $450 on the Family Guy game. So is there anything else I spent money on? No. No, there isn't. Time clickers, kind of. I didn't spend money in time clickers, but time clickers was so good that I went and bought the developers' other games. Well, I bought one of his other games. I bought Time Wasters. So I don't know that I don't know that counts. Hey, what's that one developer I like? Ooh. He's got a new game on the way out. No Life Zombie Survivor. I am wishlisting that shit. Loot Hero DX, that's the one. Wait, he's got two games in development. Animal Diner and No Life Zombie Survivors. But yeah, this guy made Plantera, Plantera 2, Tap Heroes, and Loot Hero DX. And they're inexpensive games. All of these are $3 except for Plantera 2, which is $5. It's Varat P, Varagt, capital P. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that, but this guy made Loot Hero DX, and I was just so impressed by the design of the game that I went and I bought Tap Heroes. And Tap Heroes was actually really, really, it was really innovative and interesting, the way that it was constructed. And I liked the thought process there. And Tap Heroes and Loot Hero DX were this guy's first games. So I bought Loot Hero DX, and it was great. So I bought Tap Heroes. And then when Plantera came out, I bought that. Or when Plantera 2 came out, I bought that. And I've wish-listed both No Life Zombie Survivor and Animal Diner, because this guy makes good shit. I like this guy's work. And I'll tell you what's important there is this guy, this is just some Russian dude. Like that's it. That's all it is. He is just some Russian dude making games. And they're cool games. They're interesting games. Although, oh, wait a minute. Run Bird Run. That's a free-to-play game. I'm adding that to my collection. An infinite runner where you play as a bird jumping over rocks. The game is designed to be more relaxing than intense. After jumping over a few rocks and finding your rhythm, you might just enter the flow state. Now, I want to be clear about this. When was this released? March 10th of this year. March 10th of 2025. This guy has released, oh wow, what else do we have here? It says new releases: Tap Heroes, Loot Hero DX, Plantera, Cooking Witch, Fyong, Boombox Blue, Plantera 2, Golden Acorn, and Run Bird Run. Who's this from? It's from him. It's from Farat P. But looking at all of the games he's got here, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. I have all of them now. Like, I have all of these games. Every game he's released, I've got them. So the important thing here is when you look at the description of this game, and here are the tags on this game. It's single player with Steam achievements and Steam Cloud enabled. Profile features are limited because it's a new game, fairly new. And it has accessibility features, custom volume controls, playable without timed input, and it has a mouse-only option. We don't know whether it's Steam Deck compatible. But you'll notice that this free-to-play game does not have in-app purchases. There are no in-game purchases. It's a game that he made because he wanted to make a game. It's relaxing instead of intense. You're supposed to enter a flow state. That's a game made by a person who cares about games. I want that game. Just like I wanted Plantera 2, Golden Acorn, and Boombox Blue, and Fyong, and Cooking Witch, and Plantera, and Loot Hero DX, and Tap Heroes, because I played Loot Hero DX, and it was so clear to me from that one game, this guy cares about games. And Tap Heroes he doesn't just care about games, he thinks deeply about games. And he tries to do interesting, innovative things. That's awesome. So this guy has gotten 3, 6, 9, 11, 13, 15, $20 of my money. Because I played one $3 game he released. And it was good. And it was clear that he cared about games. I do not know why you people are playing games by people who don't care about games. You know, I should really, I want to show this on screen. I want to show this. Not Wangla, but although she's always somebody that I think should be looked at. I want you to look at this. I want you to look at all of these games. Look at this. In library, in library, in library, in library. Everything's in library. Okay? All of this stuff is in library, except Run Bird Run, which I actually have in my library. It's already in my Steam library. But this guy made one game that I thought was cool. And at the time, he only had 2 games. And I looked at that one game I thought was cool, and I said, that's cool. I'm going to buy his other game, too. And I bought his other game. And then he put out a 3rd game, and I bought that. And I have bought every single game he's put out. Why? Because he put out one game, and I went, this guy cares about games. This guy gives a shit. This guy actually wants to make games that are good. He wants to make good games, and you should want to make good games. That's what games are for, is to be good. You should want your games to be good. You should try to make your games good. And if you're not trying to make your games good, what are you doing? Why are you making games that suck? Why are you guys buying games that suck? Why are you playing games that suck? I can already tell, looking at Uma Musume, that it's going to hit a stopping point. It's going to hit a blocking point where if you don't spend money, you can't progress. But I could see why you would continue to play it and get involved and attached and habituate on the game up to that point. I see why you would do that. Because they've orchestrated it to do this so that so they could get your money. But it's a very different thing in Eastern games. This isn't the first gacha game that I've played, and a lot of gacha games, they don't go, spend money now, spend money now, spend money now, spend money now. They go, oh, that's once per day. But you could spend money. They're very low-key about it. And I may be off base on this. I'm not Asian. I don't really understand how Asian people think or what Asian culture is. You know, no matter how much of a fucking weeb I am, I'm not Japanese. But it appears to me that Asian people, when presented with, I'm sorry, you can only do this once per day unless you spend money, they go, ah, Well, I don't want to spend money. And that's the end of it. I don't think they agonize about it. I don't think they go, oh man, I wanted to do the thing, but I had to spend money. I don't want to. I don't like to spend the money, but I have to. If I don't spend the money, I don't get the thing. It's okay not to have the thing. Look at you right now. You don't have the thing, and you're fine. 20 minutes ago, you not only didn't have the thing, you didn't even know you could have the thing. And you were fine. Everything was okay. What is this sudden preoccupation with, oh, I gotta have the thing? No, you don't. Look, you're fine. You don't have the thing and you're fine. Everything's okay. What will happen to you if you don't have the thing? Oh man, I don't have the thing. I need to get the thing. Well, I have the thing, so I can go get it, and it's not going to cost me any money, so I'll be right back. We're an hour in, so I thought I would offer you guys the special treat of watching me actually construct the rum and cokes that I drink. So first things first, you take the cap off of the Coca-Cola. And I save my bottle caps because, you know, Fallout has conditioned me to save my bottle caps. That bag tore as I was getting it out, and now there's bottle caps all over the fucking floor. I'm gonna have to pick them up later. Regardless. Let me get them out of the immediate area. There we go. Anyway, the first thing you have to do is you have to clear space in the bottle. I take it down to right about that line on the bottle, just above the label. Always Mexican Coke. And now you got to get rid of some carbonation. You have to wait for the bubbles to get big. When the bubbles get big, it's not going to overflow. When you degas it twice, that's typically enough. Once you've degassed it twice, you can put in the rum. I used to use a funnel, but I've done this so many times that even when I've been drinking, I'm pretty fucking good at it. I don't spill it, and I don't knock anything over. Let me set that aside here. This is just Kirkland Spice rum. It's fucking cheap. Don't make mixed drinks with high quality rum. I've got some fucking amazing Zaya rum upstairs. It's like, it's aged, it's dark, it's amazing. Now, alcohol floats. So you mix it by holding the bottle upside down and turning it back over. Degas a little bit more. That's why you degas it, because you don't want to flip it over and have it just like suddenly squirt rum and coke all over the place. The second time you invert, it's typically okay and doesn't present a real problem. Once you do that, that is typically the bottle that I have sitting here when I start the video, or that I'm pouring into the glass when the video finally gets started. Did I remember to unpause the recording? I did. It would be so funny if I had not. That really would have been funny. There we go. So that's how I make my rum and cokes. So if you want to know how much rum I'm drinking when I drink one of these, that's how much rum goes in there. Anyway. The thing that really bothers me about the Stop Killing Gains movement is, well, the immorality of it is like, I mean, it's the principle of the thing, okay? You're demanding that a government agency abuse their power to make an industry do what you want. This is corruption, just like on its face. This is corruption. They're not doing anything bad to you. Okay? That's you're not being harmed. They're taking away something you don't need, that isn't essential, that belongs to them. And the argument, a large part of the argument for the Stop Killing Gains movement, this blows my fucking mind, is that they didn't know. How? How did you not know? Look, we all have a phone, right? We all have a phone. And that phone has an operating system on it. This is a Samsung phone, and it has an Android operating system on it. And if you go to your apps, okay, if you go in here to the, if you go in here, I've got all of these apps. I've got Disney, and I've got Netflix, and I've got Verizon, and Clip Studio Paint, and I've got a bunch of Microsoft shit here. What is this Microsoft? It's got Outlook in it. Why do I have Outlook on my phone? I don't need Outlook. What the fuck is that for? I don't even know most of what's on my phone. Threads and Blue Sky. Yeah, I spend a lot of time on Threads. Not. But yeah, I do watch Disney and I do watch Netflix. Just not on my phone. Why are they on my phone? I don't understand people who watch movies on their phone. Why do you do that? Why do you... Why do you take your phone to bed with you? Nothing good can come of this. It's... Why? Why do you do that? But it's like, do you know where my phone is when I go to bed? Do you know where I put my phone? Here. Put it right here. It's just here. I cannot reach it from my bed. I cannot see it from my bed. I cannot hear it from my bed. Granted, I have a position of some privilege where I do not need to get up on time for anything ever. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. I go to bed when I want. I get up when I want. Fuck you. But yeah. You have a telephone. The hardware is made by one company. The operating system is made by another company. You have apps that are made by other companies. You know that the Disney library isn't on this phone, right? Like, that it won't fit, right? You understand that. Let me make sure I'm focused again. You understand that the entire Disney library isn't on there, that it's a server, and that if the server was down, if I couldn't connect to the network, if I didn't have a Wi-Fi connection, if I couldn't get to the server, I would not be able to watch anything on Disney Plus, because it's not on there. It's not on the phone. It's in the internet. It's in the cloud. The cloud is really like the wrong term, okay? There's no such thing as the cloud. It's just somebody else's computer, okay? And I think that's a big mistake that people make. I think people feel like the cloud belongs to everybody. There is no cloud. It's just somebody else's computer. If you understood that anything in the cloud is just on someone else's computer, you might understand that everything you put in the cloud is on someone else's computer. And they can see it. Or delete it. Or copy it and show your mom. I think this whole cloud thing is bullshit. It's somebody else's computer. It's stuff on somebody else's computer. Surely you understand that. Surely you understand client server. You understand the web. Your web browser looks at information that's on a web server. And if you don't have an internet connection, you can't see it. Your multiplayer game is the same way. That's the client. And there's a server out there. And if the server goes down, the client doesn't work anymore. The client doesn't connect to other clients. It connects to the server. Server goes down, no game. Why don't you understand this? Why is this difficult for you? I don't really think it is. I think you understand this. I think people are pretending not to understand because they recognize that I'm stupid and they didn't tell me and I didn't know. I think they know that that's a really good argument for I need to be protected from the big scary game publisher. You know it's a big scary game publisher. You know that the investors are pigs and jerks. You know the people who run the company don't care about games. They only care about money. You know the people who work there have no job security and they have no ownership of what they're building. And they're just, I mean, they're factory workers. It's an assembly line now. People don't build the games. Companies build the games. They're designed and constructed by committee. Nobody has any creative input. There is no creative input. They make it all up. We're trying to make computers do it. We're trying to get the garbage farting computer machine to make games all by itself without any developers at all. And then we'll have a way to just say, hey, give me a game that people will pay money to play. And then the garbage farting computer machine will fart out some garbage and you put it out there. And holy fucking shit, you people are stupid and crazy. You'll play anything. They'll put that out and you go, I only play it ironically. I only play it ironically. You know what would be funny? You know what would be funny? If I gave them $50. That would be so. It would be so. I should give them $60. I should give them like the actual price of a AAA game. Could you even imagine if I gave them the actual price of a AAA game for this bullshit that sucks, that nobody likes? Can you even imagine if I did that? Do you dare me? Do you dare me to do it? Do you dare me to give them the $60 that the game is definitely not worth? Do you dare me to pay them the money that they want just to be funny, just like as a joke? What are you doing? What are you fucking doing? Why are you giving money to people that hate you and want you to die? Why are you giving money to people who don't care about your health or your career or your relationships? It's why? Why are you paying these people for what they do? It sucks. It's bad for you. It's literally killing you. Why are you paying them? You trade your life for that money. You probably, almost all of you, you work for an hourly wage. You do an hour's work. You trade an hour of your life for money. And now you're going to give that money to somebody who hates you and wants you to die? You're going to trade an hour of your labor, maybe several hours of your labor, for the continued happiness of people who hate you and want you to die? What's wrong with you? What even are you doing? You trade your life for cash, and you give your cash to people who hate you. That's just suicide with extra steps. I don't know why you guys are playing these games. I don't know why you're trying to make the government regulate games that you shouldn't be playing. If you don't like these games, don't play them. I will always, and I do mean always, I will always believe that the Stop Killing Games movement would be better for all concerned as a voluntary participation campaign. If game publishers and developers voluntarily chose to put the Stop Killing Games logo on their game marketing materials because they promise to abide by the Stop Killing Games initiative's rules and regulations, if they paid a fee to support those operations, and if they paid a penalty if they went back on their promise later, I think that would be worthwhile, because I can't sign your petition. I'm not in the EU, okay? But I wouldn't sign it if I was, because it's morally wrong. However, if you required games to have that logo, I would buy a game with that logo. I would prefer a game with that logo to a game without that logo. Because the things you want from games are good things. And I want to be clear about that. Wanting these things from games is good. Putting the things you want in the games is good. That's a good thing. But making it illegal not to is immoral. Trying to stop people from making games that don't do what you want is immoral and kills games. There will always be some number of people making a game that would need to abide by your rules. And they can't afford it. They don't have the time or the energy or the expertise or the money, or there's something they don't have that they would need to do what the Stop Killing Games initiative needs them to do. And if it's against the law, they just can't make that game. that game disappears, and that's invisible. You never see that. You never get to know this game would have been made except for the Stop Killing Games initiative. You would never see that. It would just silently not exist. That's terrible. I think the world would be a poorer place if Ubisoft's The Crew had not operated at all. Would the world be better if the game stayed up past the 10-year mark? If it continued to be operated by fans? If it was available today? If it remained available for another 10 years, another 20, another 50? Would that be a better world to live in? Yeah. Yeah, it would. But I don't think that's going to happen as much as the Stop Killing Games initiative believes it will. Now, I also think Thor is completely off fucking base on how often people will just, like, not make a live service game. I think there's going to be a large amount of games on either side of it. It's like, if you take all the live service games and you go, here are the ones that can and will comply with the initiative, and here are the ones that can't or won't. The ones that can't or won't will just disappear. I think there are more of those than the initiative thinks there are. I think more games will disappear than the Stop Killing Games initiative believes will disappear. But I don't think it's all of them. I think there are several games that can and will comply with the initiative's ideas. I think that'll be fine. Now, here's the thing. If we don't have a law, we just get all the games. And if the law is voluntary, if the initiative is voluntary participation instead of a law, if it's a voluntary participation program where companies choose to participate, companies choose to engage with Stop Killing Games and put the logo on their package, if that's the way it works, I think more games will do that on purpose than you believe. But the most important thing is the games that won't do it are still there. They don't go away. They don't die. They don't disappear. We continue to get those. And the games that participate, you get the things you want from them. And I think to some degree, I think without the logo, I think probably half of the companies that would do it if there was a program and a logo and a way to go, hey, we're a member of this particular team. I think half of the games that could and would comply won't comply if they don't have a logo. It's just you've got you can kind of divide it into three groups. Companies that will shut down the server whenever they feel like it, no matter what the fuck you do. Those games either exist if they're legal or they don't exist if they're not. And then you have two other groups. You have a group of people who, regardless of whether it's illegal or not, would rather have a game that doesn't just go down. They want to make a good end-of-life plan. They want to make the fan community happy, and they're going to regardless. Ubisoft has already made this commitment for The Crew 2 and Motorfest. They've already done that. Before the EU does the petition thing, they've already agreed to do that. You could get other games to do that. All you have to do is ask. You just ask. They'll do that. There's a solid chance that if you had just asked a few months earlier, you might have saved The Crew. The first one. The one Ross was complaining about in 2018. The one that caused him to start the initiative. If you had asked Ubisoft to make an end-of-life plan for it, they might have done that. You might have gotten what you wanted earlier if you had just asked instead of bitching and moaning and trying to make them. It's how human psychology works. We'll never know. That's the big problem with everything like this. And that's the problem with every economic situation. And this is an economic situation. This is about the economics of running a game and the goodwill of players. And we've already established that the goodwill of players is fickle and not worth jack shit. That might be a problem that you need to deal with. There are three things. If a company only cares about money, there are three things that matter in their game. And the first one is, are you spending money in the game? That's what they want. They want you to be spending money in the game. If you're not spending money in the game, they want you actively playing the game. So you're there for people who will actively spend money to play with. And the third thing they want is for new players to be buying the game. If you're not spending money, if nobody is spending money in the game, the future of the game is determined by new purchases. If nobody's buying the game is going to go down. It's going to get shut down. That's just how it works. You need to let things evolve. That's an important part of life. To understand that all things come to an end. And if you have... Oh, hey. Everybody acts like this is a new thing. The Stop Killing Games initiative has gotten me to really kind of dig into my archives and think about all the games. All the fucking games. They're gone now. And that you just can't play. Even though they're not software. You know, because does anybody remember this? Anybody at all? This is the first RPG that I ever bought that wasn't Dungeons and Dragons. I actually bought this before Man, Myth, and Magic. And there were two versions of it. There was one that was just a bound book, and there's the one that came in a box. And the one that comes in a box is the one that has the ship combat rules. Delta V is the ship combat rules for Universe. The bound version is the Game Master's Guide and the Adventure Guide, just in a perfect bound paperback. It came with this great... I had this on my wall for so long. It's an actual star chart. It's like these are real stars that really exist. And here's the Delta V tactical grid, little hex paper. And most importantly, unpunched counters. 1981, I bought this. That is almost 45 years ago. It's from SPI. In 1983, SPI had financial troubles. And as a result of those financial troubles, they were purchased by TSR, the makers of Dungeons and Dragons. So Universe, which directly competed with TSR's Gamma World, and Dragon Quest, which directly competed with TSR's Dungeons and Dragons, were purchased by TSR, which was at the time still under the control of Gary Gygax. Fuck that guy, for a number of reasons. And one of those reasons is he buried those games because he only wanted people playing Gamma World and Dungeons and Dragons. I detest Gary Gygax. He's a terrible person. Was a terrible person. I hope he's burning in hell. It's probably not. I don't believe in hell, but I hope he is suffering. Wherever he is now, I hope he is suffering because he fucking deserves it. I've met the man. I've had interactions with the man. Fuck that guy. Anyway, that was a hard science fiction game, and it was exactly what I wanted in a hard science fiction game. It was a functional, civilized science fiction society. Gamma World was post-apocalyptic. The bomb has gone off and everything's fucked. Now, fast forward about 16 years. And TSR, right there, TSR has released Alternity, the Player's Handbook, the Game Master's Guide, the Star Drive setting, the campaign setting. These are fairly badly warped because they were in a box under some shit that really shouldn't have been stacked on them. But yeah, they're a bit the worse for wear. Alternity was also a hard science fiction setting in a civilized, functional science fiction world. It's not post-apocalypse. Things aren't totally fucked up. If you know your history, that's when TSR was purchased by Wizards of the Coast. They didn't want to put any marketing or promotional effort behind the game. This was $45 in 1981. These were $29.95 in 1998. 1997, 1998, somewhere around. It's 3 of them. That's $90. So it's $45 $1981 for a game that was killed 3 years later. And $90 $1997. Call them $2,000. $92,000. So it's $45 $1980. $92,000. For games that were killed by their makers. They're killed every bit as effectively as if the servers had been shut down. Because every multiplayer game, every single multiplayer game of every variety relies on support from a central location to keep the players it has. And if it doesn't get that support, it falls over and dies. I'll have the rule books around, but Twilight 2000 was another hard science fiction game in a functional future universe. It was killed in 2009. I've wanted a hard science fiction game in a functional, civilized universe. Forever. And it wasn't until 2023 that Bethesda delivered Starfield, a hard science fiction game in a functional, civilized universe. It's the game that I've wanted for 45 years. And I'd never really thought about that until I dug into the archive and I started looking at all of the games that I have and all of the games that I've lost. And people say that this is a new thing, this has only just started happening, and it's not. It's really, really not. But nobody recognizes that. Nobody recognizes that companies have done this to games forever. The Mayfair Games version of Cosmic Encounter is dramatically different from the Eon Games version of Cosmic Encounter that came beforehand. And then after the Mayfair Games version came the West End Games version. And the West End Games version was also dramatically different. And then came the Parker Brothers version. That was dog shit. Sometimes what kills a game isn't the actual killing of the game, it's the alteration of the game into something that you don't want to fucking play anymore. I don't play 5e. I don't like it. I don't like 3rd edition. I don't like 4th edition. I like 2nd edition. That's the good one. It's what I think is the good one. I don't think I have anything meaningful left to say. Stop playing games made by people who don't like games. Switch to indie games. Play indie games. Play games from indie studios and indie developers. Play games by people who love games, by people who want to make games, by people who care about the quality of the product they make and respect the people who make it and cultivate an understanding of the people who buy it and why. Stop giving money to people who hate you and want you to die.